Cancel culture is something that a lot of people on social media support and call for. If they see something online, even without knowing all of the facts, they call for people to lose their jobs and be forced out of industries based on accusations. I don't support cancel culture, and it's something that I've talked about a lot because it's happening in industries that we all love. But some of the very people who support cancel culture aren't immune from facing it themselves, and someone in the gaming industry who's made some serious allegations against industry veterans and even doxed people in the past is now facing cancel culture themselves. This is a situation that's not getting a lot of media attention right now that I think is very important to talk about, and that's a situation with Jennifer Schruel. But before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month or supporting via memberships. All of the links are in the description. And of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. So I think that it's very important we start off with who she is, things that she's done in the past, so you understand who we're talking about here. So Guild Wars 2 lead game designer ignores evidence, falsely accuses innocent man of white supremacy, and assault of 2 protesters, and there's another situation that she was a part of a couple of years back. Game designer Jennifer calls on industry to turn its back on gamers and the paying customers. So there's 2 different articles I wanted to quickly skim through here. So this one says ArenaNet and Guild Wars 2 lead game designer falsely accused an innocent man of being responsible for some pretty terrible things last year. She also accused this man of white supremacy and unapologetically shared his real name and declared that he is dangerous. Of course, though, this is not the only situation that she's been a part of and that people remember her for. Scrolling down this article does talk about several other situations. It says she was also one of the first to campaign against the honoring of Atari co-founder Nolan Bushnell by the Game Developers Conference on the grounds that several women had come to her with stories that Bushnell had allegedly been responsible for a sexist and misogynistic workplace environment at Atari during the 70s. Yes, she is also the person that brought up the work environment at Atari during the 70s that kind of blew up this campaign against Nolan. It says when asked for names and contact information for said accusers, she provided no such proof of their existence, instead replying that you don't understand. I don't have to prove anything to you and neither do they. It is your job to practice empathy to experience that might differ from your own. Yes, she is the person that made all of these terrible accusations against him, yet never provided any evidence that these people actually existed. And she also faced a massive wave of criticism across social media for her recent declaration that her worst nightmare is the ability for men who have been falsely accused of gross misbehavior or criminal action having all of the receipts ready to discredit any allegations, which of course is what most normal people would call evidence. I've always said believe people, men and women, who provide evidence. This is the woman who was mad when men had evidence disproving false charges against them. This is why a lot of people do not like her and why now a lot of people are not defending her, because this is the newest situation regarding her. She has stepped down as the IGDA group chair amid abuse allegations. So it says, chair of the IGDA Women in Games Special Interest Group, Jennifer Schruel, has stepped down from her position following accusations of manipulation and emotional abuse. The accusations were brought to the attention of the IGDA from 2018 via multiple informal complaints, and then again in 2019 and 2020 via formal complaints, when the victims saying they had 120 pages of statements and evidence supporting their claim. These allegations resurfaced on social media this week when she was named directly by those making the accusation. So for years now, There have been people posting on social media about a woman at this company who was doing pretty bad things. They were accusing her of, different forms of abuse, manipulation, and now they finally decided to release her name and release the images of emails they sent to this organization trying to get them to take action against her or do an investigation. So the article says the IGDA issued a statement prior to her resignation confirming that an investigation had been conducted, but saying there was no compelling evidence of wrongdoing. Now, I'm going to talk about her resignation in just a minute, but I wanted to read this part. It says it has come to our attention that there has been public concern about IGDA's internal investigation process, and the IGDA investigates all complaints in compliance with our policy for responding to harassment complaints. Part of this process requires anonymity to protect both the person who issued the complaint and the accused, but given the public nature of these allegations, we will confirm a complaint was received and a formal investigation was launched. After thorough investigation, the submitter of the complaint was informed that there was not compelling evidence of wrongdoing, and they were also invited to submit additional material in the future to have the investigation reopened. Now, of course, as you can see, there are a lot of keywords here like internal investigations. And of course, the IGDA is only responding to this situation publicly now because they've got so many people coming forward that are furious with them. I wonder how many people conducted these investigations because they say it went through an internal investigation process, which investigations like this always need to be done behind impartial outside investigators. By holding an internal investigation and clearing her, it doesn't seem like it's about her, but it's about protecting their image. It says to me that this organization is just a pile of garbage that was trying to push an agenda and bury anything counter or negative to what they claim their purpose is. All organizations like this are so image dependent, so of course that's their number one concern. Now, keep in mind that these are just allegations being made against Jennifer, but in this case, the person who's making the accusations have evidence they've tried to contact the IGDA for years now regarding her. Plus, they've pointed out social media posts that they've made about her in the past. I do not support cancel culture, so I'm not going after her career. I haven't seen the full evidence being used against her, but it's a bit of what comes around goes around, and her response doesn't sound like the response of someone who's innocent in a situation, because she decided to step down from the IGDA, and she said, "I'm sorry this took so long. I wanted to make adequate time to consider everyone affected by the situation," and of course she's using a blockchain because I and a lot of other people are blocked by her, so I couldn't directly go to her post to see the responses, but I do have the screenshot of her post. It says, "By now you've probably read Noni's account of the harm I have caused her and others. I have always tried to embody the value of believing victims, and this does not change with the accused being myself. Many people I love are hurting, and I wish to not bring any more harm to any of you. I'm sorry for any harm I've caused Noni and others, both past and present. As a teacher, I have let her down, and as an advocate, I have let down an industry I deeply love. A part of what I believe in, I will act in accordance to the wishes of the people I have harmed. I'm grateful to the IGDA and their ethics committee. I believe in their process, regardless of their decision to dismiss the claims against me. I will step down as the IGDA WIG-SIG chair immediately, as I feel I have lost too much of the trust in the community." It seems like, at least in my opinion, that she's not actually sorry for anything. She's only sorry because she was caught and has to face backlash over it. Now that people on social media are scrutinizing her actions, that's why she's giving this half-hearted apology. And of course, after she stepped down from the IGDA amid these allegations, do you think Kotaku or Polygon are discussing the situation? No, because they're protecting the people they personally like, that have the political opinions they like. Look at situations with Troy Levitt. He was canceled over opinions. Look at the Five Nights at Freddy's creator Scott. He was was canceled for having a specific political leaning, and gay media like Kotaku and Polygon and even Jennifer here jumped on the opportunity to cancel him and many other people. This is a massive reason why a lot of people, myself included, don't trust game journalists anymore. If we were talking about one website that was super biased and filled with hacks, we just avoid them, but you can tell just by this situation and how little coverage it's getting why people view mainstream game quote-unquote journalists so negatively. So of course, after all of these allegations came out and she decided to acknowledge some of them publicly, she's locked her social media account, and now we know that one of the companies that she's working for, Blackbird Interactive, is investigating whether any misconduct has occurred at the studio. So we're definitely going to have to watch this situation closely and see if she ends up being let go from this company or if she stays with the company. But either way, I don't agree with anyone having to step down or be canceled without the proof being present. Everyone deserves a chance to defend themselves against accusations, but what we see here is what we all call you reap what you sow, and this is the type of culture she helped perpetuate, a culture where you don't need proof. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it and found it important and informative, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.